the Black Film Festival, and also had a friend, Lavette Ballard, who was part of a group exhibition there. And I came across this stunning portrait that was very textured, that was very vibrant. I had my mother with me, we posed with it. I can show you those pictures later. But I asked myself, I said, who is this artist? And fortunately, she's connected to a dear friend of mine, Mertice Badola, who runs Gallery Mertice in Baltimore, Maryland. And so I had in the back of my mind that one day I wanted to introduce Megan and her work to the Syracuse community, because I think she's having a very important conversation when it comes to community, when it comes to the representation of Black people, people of the African diaspora, when it comes to expressions, which is why we call it Chromatic Expressions, as well as a host of other things that we'll get into today's artist talk. But before I get into the details of that, I'd like to formally introduce you through her bio, and then you'll hear from her. So let me begin. Megan Lewis is a professional multidisciplinary illustrator, known for her bold colors and wearable brand, Black Women Period. Lewis utilizes various mediums to create works of art that focus on stories that reflect a critical view of social, historical, and cultural issues, all inspired by Black women images in the Black community. Megan has been and continues to be an active and well-regarded member of Baltimore's thriving arts community. She has been an artwork teaching artist 4 years in a row and has completed 7 murals across the city. Her mural, Lady Liberty, Please Know Thyself, made international news when singer-songwriter Alicia Keys visited Baltimore for Shining a Light, a concert for progress on race in America, presented by A&E Networks. While North Avenue Rising Projects is Megan's first public art commission, Megan has also embarked on major mural projects with the Baltimore Orioles, Target, Life Water, and the University of Maryland Medical System. Megan will begin designing the artwork for the station, or she did already, in the fall of 2019. The artwork created by Megan Lewis will be the first new artwork commission for the Maryland Transportation Authority's Baltimore Metro subway system since the stations were built over 30 years ago, and the first artwork by a Black woman artist included in the entire transit system. Yes. Megan joins the ranks of artists Romare Bearden, Patricia Alexander, Paul Daniels, Mary Ann Mears, and others who also have artwork commissions located along the Baltimore Metro line. Please welcome Megan Lewis.
Listen, I just want to thank y'all so much for coming. Like, I know, like, life is, hectic, busy, I got stuff to do. So thank you so much for taking, like, a piece of your time to come and talk to me. It means the most. So thank you, just thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So, Megan and I were talking, and I'll get to a few questions, but my understanding is that, is this your first artist talk?
Yes.
As she takes a deep breath answering it. So, okay, so be kind, everyone, please. Yeah, absolutely. So you should know that your work has been well received since it's been, hung in this gallery. And it's in alignment with who we are as an organization and the timely conversations that you're having. So my first question to you is, what initially drew you to the world of art? And was there a particular moment or experience that ignited your passion?
So lucky me, right? I've always wanted to be an artist. I've never wanted to be anything else. And luckily, like I had parents who, you know, they didn't nourish it with money, they nourished it with their attention, right? So I just, you know, my dad introduced me to art, and somehow it just happened. You know, I've been manifesting this for a very long time. So this is my senior year in high school. You know, you have to decide, right? Like, what are you going to do? So I was just like, okay, let me go to school, be an engineer, let me make a whole bunch of money. My mom was like, no, go to school and be an artist. My mother makes a good, you know, a decent amount of money doing what she does, but she doesn't love it. So she's like, go to school, be an artist, and if it doesn't work out, do something else, give yourself 5 years. And I was like, okay, bet. So I went to school and became an artist. So it's like, you gotta pour into these young people, man. You gotta have something solid for them to land on. Like, I would not be sitting here if it wasn't for my parents.
Yeah, I think that's a very important lesson. When I think about a lot of people who didn't pursue their passion for the arts because they wanted to be more pragmatic, they wanted to do, you know, they wanted to make decisions and follow careers that I think the perception is they would make more money, you know, be more successful. There's a lot of people not living their dreams. And I think it takes a lot of courage to be a creative in this world when there's, you know, there's a narrative that pushes back against that. And so we have young people in the audience who needs to hear that, to pursue whatever you are passionate about. And the money, the success, you know, these things will come. But first and foremost, is to be happy with what you're doing and follow your dreams.
And also, this was before Instagram. You know, I didn't see it because it wasn't like people like myself who I can follow and look at. You know, you had fake rainbow and, you know, but now it's like, it's a lot of us out there now.
Absolutely. And it helps us to knit this together, who are the artists in our community. So when I look at your work, and you incorporate a lot of vibrant colors and intricate patterns. And can you talk about the significance of the color and the patterns in your art?
Basically, it started out, I struggled with color. My favorite artist, for one of them, was Ernie Barnes. And if you look at his work, it's very, lots of browns, lots of, you know, primary colors. And I was mimicking his work so much, I just couldn't master it. It was like really muddy, and it was awful. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to master color. I'm going to use as many colors as I can until I figure it out. And one day, like, I paint every day, and one day it just clicked. Like, I can't explain it. It's all muscle memory to me now. Like, I paint every single day. So it started out I just wanted to master color.
No, that's it. Every day?
I go to work. If I don't go to work, I don't eat. So I go to work every single day.
That's real.
Because I just love what I do. I just love it. So,
how long does it take you to complete a portrait?
You know, I be lollygagging sometimes, but if I can sit still, you know, a lot of artists, we like to move around and stuff like that. But I can finish a painting in a day if I just focus. But you know, I be on my phone, I be looking at YouTube, I be walking around. But I paint really fast because I think fast. You know what I mean? It's like my work is confident because I have to be. The technique requires me to be sure of myself. Like, I can't second guess it. And that's the power of the technique. Like, once I lay it down, that's it. So I have to be sure, I have to be confident. And a lot of people tell me my subjects protrude that because I'm protruding.
Absolutely, I would say so. I'm looking at some of these images where, you know, the head is held high, the posture. But what captures me the most is the actual gaze of your portraits. I feel like every painting every figure is looking at me, right, as an audience. And I just, you know, and these are direct gazes, they're off to the side, but always, you know, if you're, wherever you're standing, you feel that. So can you speak more about the gaze in your work?
So I will use this as an example because I was chatting briefly with some people earlier. So this man right here, I do not know, but I walk throughout the streets of Baltimore and I take pictures of people, right? And it's like I was attracted to him because he's chocolate. Like I love painting people who are darker complexion, more melanin complected. But I had no idea that he was going through. Like he looks like he had it down. You know, I didn't tell him to pose like that. That's just who he is. So am I drawing in these people? Am I attracted to these people? Like, what is it about him and all these other subjects that have this kind of uniqueness about them? Like, am I an inner self sad or something? You know what I mean? Like, what is going on? But he just looks like he has a life. He probably had stuff to do, but he was nice enough to pose and to talk to me for 5 minutes. And I have to get it quick. You know, I can't be, too long because these people have lives, but, you can definitely tell this man has something going on. And I'm just so honored to be able to tell his and my story. And I always start with the eyes first, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I start with the eyes first. I start with the hair, the eyes, and then the lips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I would love to see. At some point, I don't know if you put this on Instagram, but there's some artists that we get glimpses of the process, and while you're in progress of making, I would love to see that. I don't know if that's your thing, but
people copy a lot. I try not to. You don't let people in the kitchen.
oh, that's true. That's
But
proprietary information.
yeah, I can say I can do the eyes in probably 10 minutes, maybe 5.
Okay.
Just one stroke. I try to do it by stroke. I don't play with it. I be confident, lay it down, and I let it go. Yeah.
I love it. I love the confidence and let it go because you have to make a decision, right? Okay, so another question I have is about your pieces and how they seem to blur the lines between reality and imagination. And one of the paintings that I have in mind is the one in the back called Fantasy, where there's like a negative space, kind of the brown. It's like the body is missing, the head is floating.
Yeah.
And so what is going on there?
I did that, and can anybody see the year for me when
2020.
2020?
Yeah.
So my life is all manifested. I've been through, I have like maybe 20 murals in Baltimore, right?
Wow.
And I never wanted to be a muralist. I've always wanted to be an exhibition artist, but it never worked out for me that way. So I had to ask myself, what am I blocking? What am I not allowing to come to me because I have an idea of what I want to do? But at this particular time, I wanted to just explore, like I was evolving. So I just wanted to feel something different because I paint literally every day. So I'm very curious. I go in the studio, I sit, I conceptualize, and it just depends. I don't know. I would have to see the title of the piece to remember, but I don't know. I got stuff going on. You know what I mean? I'm just curious. I can't remember, but I think I went through a phase of emptiness maybe and blocking out the body and focusing just on the face. I would have to see the title to bring back the nostalgia of how I was feeling.
Yeah, I think it's titled Fantasy.
Oh, Fantasy.
Yes, which opens up. You have so many paintings. It's hard for you to keep up.
I have a lot. I do paint every single day. Yeah. But it's just a curiosity, composition and just switching it up.
And just so this is a fraction of Megan's work. In fact, you were just in Chicago last week.
Yes.
At the Chicago Expo.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that and what that experience was like?
It was amazing. I'm a big Kanye fan, so to visit Chicago was amazing. I had 4 pieces in that as well. And I was just honored to be there. It was an amazing experience. So, and then 2 days later, I come in. So.
And now she's here. Yeah.
With y'all representing.
Yeah, we're very grateful for her. Yeah, definitely. So I think what uniquely captures my attention once I get past the gaze is the fact that you're using fabric as a background. I love that. I love the fact that you're painting over fabric. That I think it's genius because it probably takes a lot just to paint the background sometimes. But so that your work is very mixed media. There's glitter. There's these floral patterns, and nature appears to be a recurring theme in your work. And how does the natural world inspire and influence your artistic vision?
Said nature. I'm big on metaphysics. I love astrology, all of that. So, you know, I pick from what I know. You know, I'm the type of girl to sit outside on a tree and conceptualize and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess it's just natural. A lot of stuff I don't know, it's just who I am. You know, so.
And so, how do you balance staying true to your own vision while also considering the expectations and interpretations of your audience? So how do you balance staying true to your own vision? Because a lot of your work and your feelings, I read where the expressions, if you look at the titles, it's joy, it's, you know, it's a lot of, there's a lot of play on expressions, but in an interview that you had, or a statement about your work, you said many of these are reflective of your own feelings. So the figures are not you, but they reflect your emotions. And so how do you stay true to that vision while also thinking about the, expectations and interpretations of your audience, if at all?
So no offense, but I make the work for me. I do. I make it for me.
Good.
And I want to attract my crowd. Because if y'all don't like it, then what am I, like, I have to make the work for me, and I hope y'all like it. I want to draw in my crowd, because if you don't, then what does that say, like, about me?
Absolutely.
You know, so I just want to make sure that I'm always evolving, I'm always curious, always. You asked me about, what was that second part?
I think you answered it.
Did I answer it?
Yeah, I mean, what have people said to you about your work that that may impact you or influence how you think about your work, if anything? Like what's the message that you're getting back from the community, especially since you are portraying people from the community, right?
Yes, I have a type apparently. A lot of people got stuff in their minds, but so a lot of the titles, that was the part. A lot of the titles, you know, I'm very sensitive. I don't like people like too much in my business. Like, I'm very private. This is my first artist talk. I hope I'm making sense of everything. But I can have a conversation with you, for instance. If you trigger something for me that I need to heal, I will write it down and I will project it onto a subject later. So it's like I'm releasing it. It's no longer mine. I have to let it go. And sometimes it comes back, but it's that process of doing it over and over again. Because I will hold on to something that happened like 5 years ago. So, you know, my mentor is constantly talking to me, and I'm writing it down, and I'm trying to just let it go and project it. So be careful. Have a conversation with me, and they might end up listening to
I think that's awesome. Listen, I got a whole sheet of questions, but I think it might be helpful if Megan heard from many of you in the artists, and we can break this up. So I want to open up the floor to you, the community who's here to learn more and celebrate this artist. If you have questions for Megan, please ask. Now would be the time.
I'm just fascinated by the work and the artist.
Thank you.
I wonder about you personally. How do you shoulder the pressures that are coming, I'm sure, with emerging as an artist, and the fact that you dreamed of doing this as a kid, now it's your profession, and now there's this strife between, is this my art and my joy, or is this my work? And also there's now recognition coming at the intersection of you wanting to be private, and all of these like modalities coming together and how it affects the art.
That's a beautiful question. Thank you. I've been manifesting this for a long time, and I was saying earlier, like, I've done murals. I have like 20 murals. I work with a lot of big brands. I never wanted to be a muralist. It was something that happened. So a little bit about me for real, right? Like, I graduated in 2007, didn't get a job, went home, was working at the Gap. You know, and it's like, everybody wants to know, how can they get in, right? So I emailed, her name was Dr. Joanne Martin at the Blacks and Wax Museum. I CC'd some of my work. She emailed me back, tells me to come to her. She sees my work. She's like, you know, I love your work, but I'm not in a position to buy anything. There's a wall downstairs. If you want to do, like, you ever thought about doing murals, I'm just in my head, I'm thinking like, I don't want to do no mural, like, but I couldn't tell her no. So I do the mural, and literally 2 months later, I'm in this program that she helped me get in, and someone who I was working with comes to me and is like, you know, I just got an email from this woman. It's called the Art at Work program, and they're looking for a black female muralist. And I know you just did one, like, and it's, I swear to you, it's like timing is everything. And ever since then, I went from working at the Gap to doing 3 murals in 1 year, and it's been go, go, go ever since. And it's just like, I had to get out of my own way. I had to think outside of myself. And I don't know, it's weird how everything kind of just lined up. I had nothing to do with it. I just had to show up. You know what I mean?
That's
It's
powerful.
weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like, it was already laid out for me. I just had to show up. I had to give 100%. I'm the first one there. I'm the last one to leave. You know, I was working with legends. Like, I worked with, like, I was around Amy Sherrill before she became Amy Sherrill. And, you know, like, I was not making a lot of money, but I'm the type of person, if you give me something, I'm gonna make it look like you gave me a lot of money. I'm hungry for it, and I'm still very hungry for it. That's why I paint every day, because I love it. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, I'm just really blessed, and I'm very hopeful of what's I'm attracting towards me. So I can't explain it. It's just, I'm just blessed, and you know, I try to carry around a good attitude. That way I continue to be blessed, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like, I guess, is that it?
Yeah.
We have another question
Sorry.
here.
I was so touched to hear you talk about the influence of your parents and how they encouraged you. And then it hit me to think, you said you always wanted to be an artist. And I see some young people here, and I was wondering if you might be willing to share if you have memories of when you first started doing art as a kid, what you liked to do. You know, what were you doing when you were a kid? What kind of art were you making?
So this is the story my dad tells, right? So I'm a daddy's girl. My dad was the person that got me into art. My dad, you know, he's a trainer. He trains dogs. He knows karate. And, you know, I'm a tomboy. So I think one day he tells me, like, I was playing with his nunchucks, and my mom was like, I don't want her playing with that. Like, go do something else. So to be smart, my dad sat me down and gave me a pen and a notebook, and I actually was good at it. He just was like, I don't know what to do with this girl. She's active, but okay, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna sit her down and give her a piece of paper, and I actually liked it. I was drawing, you know, like SpongeBob, what else? Tom and Jerry, whatever was on TV, and I just had a natural talent for it, and they just nourished it. Like, I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so it just, that looks good. When you grow up, you're gonna be an artist.